So, when I was 27, I decided that for the next few years, I was going to be dedicating my birthdays to doing something different, doing something special for myself. And it's not that I never celebrated a birthday or that I wasn't doing special things for myself on these birthdays, but I was recognizing that I needed to continue to grow and change in ways that my opportunities did not allow me to before. The other day, I came here to Sao Paulo, my first international flight solo. And I was thinking about my life and how I worked so hard to get where I am now. And I've worked hard. I've worked so hard. And when I was back at home, I looked around my room and just started crying. I looked at my graduation gown that's hanging up on the wall, all of the clothes that I had on my clothing racks and in the closets, the shoes, the perfumes, my big computer monitor, the PS5 sitting right behind it. And I just really stopped to take in a moment to be like, wow, I really worked my ass off for all of these things. I worked my ass off for my bachelor's degree that I wanted before I turned 30. I worked my ass off for my project management professional certification. I've worked so hard for all the things that I have. And I felt an immense sense of grace, I want to say, but maybe I would even call it gratitude for myself, for carrying myself all of these ways from being a 10-year-old kid that sees himself in business and technology spaces before even really knowing what that was, to then making it to an investment firm with a very graceful and gracious mentor who wanted to pay for my college and wanted me to do well and wants nothing but for me to do well. And all of my hard work that got me through these years of the pandemic, different friendships, relationship breakups, getting back together, reconnecting with different friends, experiencing new parties, experiencing new life. And I just felt immensely grateful for all of it because those younger versions of Siobhan survived so that this version of Siobhan, stepping into 30, can thrive. I was on the plane to Brazil, to Sao Paulo, and I had a layover in Bogota. And again, I couldn't stop crying. I had my mask on, I had my shades on, just tears, just wiping that shit away. And this time was a bit different. There was still the gratitude, but I could recognize that there was a lot of fear, that I was scared. I think going into a new decade is scary. And I feel like it's scary because it's new. And I like doing new things. I like doing challenging things, but that doesn't make it any less scary. You know what I mean? I remember back when I was no older than 10, I'm in the back of my grandfather's pickup truck, um, or a little truck with me and my siblings. And we're all talking about what we want to do when we grow up and when we get older. And I was saying, I'm going to be on the businessman. And I can imagine that, like little Siobhan just looking out and seeing this picture of a magazine, right? And there he is, older version of Siobhan, whatever that looked like at the time in my 10-year-old mind, and thinking, here I am in this suit behind a bunch of buildings. And those potentially were my buildings, or maybe the buildings just represented me being a businessman. But that's what I said I wanted, which felt really looking back, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. There's so much more involved in this. But little Siobhan saw it. He saw it. And so by the time I turned 21, I'm like, no, I'm going to be involved in philanthropy and humanitarianisms and technology and educational technology, all from a space of wanting to help others. And I was just like, wow, Looking back, 21-year-old Siobhan had no idea how to even get there, but he knew I was going to do it. And then dedicated the next 10 years to building up the skill sets, to building the connections, to understanding how this world works from a consulting standpoint, from technology standpoints, from new emerging technologies, and even getting into investments. And I think all of that is just indicative of ending this 29th year and then stepping into 30. It makes me scared. It makes me really scared to go out and accomplish those things. But scared because it's new. But that 10-year-old Siobhan and that 21-year-old Siobhan, this 29-year-old Siobhan, and the upcoming 30-year-old Siobhan on April 21st are all me and indicative of the life that I want to live and the people that I want to help and the communities that I want to serve and how audacious I want to be in those spaces, creating my own lane that isn't followed by anyone else so that everyone else can follow behind me. And when I'm at the mountaintop of my life and I look at this in 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, I'll look back and just be like, wow, I really did this. I really built this life. I'm looking at Sao Paulo right now because I chose to go somewhere that I'd never been before, where I don't speak the language, to then push myself out of my comfort zone. And then look at this view. This is just beautiful. And this is the life I get to live. And I want to do this life with the people I love, with people I work closely with, serving communities that matter to us. And that's what I really want for going into this new decade. Like, I started this YouTube channel with the intention of being audacious, and I'm just using it as a journal entry. And this is my journal entry for turning 30. Welcome to the refinement era.